President Sheikh Hasina announces her party's election manifesto for 12th national election, prioritizing the strategy of transforming digital Bangladesh to smart Bangladesh. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina vows to build a developed, prosperous and smart Bangladesh by 2041 if elected.
2041 সালের মধ্যে বাংলাদেশকে ক্ষুধা দারিদ্র্যমুক্ত স্মার্ট সোনার বাংলা হিসেবে গড়ে তুলব ইনশাআল্লাহ.
Election campaigning gets momentum across the country, with candidates conducting door-to-door publicity. Foreign observers arriving in the country as upcoming election created eagerness at home and abroad, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Poverty rate decreased in the country by 5.6% in the past 6 years, said a survey of Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics. Another 241 Palestinians killed in Israeli attacks in the past 24 hours as Israel expanded its ground offensive in central Gaza. And Bangladesh beat New Zealand by 5 wickets in the first match of the 3-match T20 international series in Napier. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina congratulates Tigers for their first T20 match win over New Zealand. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10. I'm Shomida Ahmed with you tonight. Those were the headlines, and now on to the rest of the news.
ভিক্ষুকের জাতের ইজ্জত থাকে না, বেশি ভিক্ষা আমি করতে চাই না। সেই জন্য তোমাদের দ্বিতীয় কাজ হবে প্রোডাকশন বাড়াও।
Awami League President Sheikh Hasina has announced her party's election manifesto for 2024 general election, vowing to build a developed, prosperous and smart Bangladesh by 2041. She said Bangladesh will be established as a high middle-income country by 2031 and a developed, prosperous, smart one by 2041 by the Bangladesh Awami League if the people once again allow her party to serve them by voting for the vote, the Awami League's electoral symbol. The Awami League chief said if the people of the country vote for the Awami League, her party will give them development, peace and prosperity. Sheikh Hasina, also the Prime Minister, made the remarks after unveiling her party's election manifesto at a city hotel this morning, just 10 days before the 12th parliamentary elections slated for January 7th. The slogan of Awami League's election manifesto is Smart Bangladesh, where development shines, accelerating employment, as the manifesto has given priorities to 11 issues. In the manifesto, the Awami League vowed to show zero tolerance against corruption and terrorism, alleviate poverty, create employment, and ensure service-oriented and accountable administration.
আমরা ঘোষণা দিয়েছি ইতিমধ্যে যে ডিজিটাল থেকে স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশের উত্তরণ আমরা ঘটাবো। চতুর্থ শিল্প বিপ্লবের যুগে বিশ্ব প্রতিযোগিতায় টিকে থাকার জন্য প্রযুক্তির সক্ষমতা একান্তভাবে প্রয়োজন। বাংলাদেশ পিছিয়ে থাকবে না। এজন্য আমরা স্মার্ট নাগরিক, স্মার্ট সরকার, স্মার্ট অর্থনীতি, স্মার্ট সমাজ, এই 4টি স্তম্ভের সমন্বয়ে স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ গড়ার ঘোষণা দেই। স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ বাস্তবায়নে আমরা প্রতিটি ক্ষেত্রে কাজ করছি। আমরা জনগণের ভোটে নির্বাচিত হলে 2041 সালের মধ্যে বাংলাদেশকে ক্ষুধা দারিদ্র্যমুক্ত স্মার্ট সোনার বাংলা হিসেবে গড়ে তুলব ইনশাআল্লাহ। আমরা নির্বাচিত হয়ে সরকার গঠন করলে রাষ্ট্র পরিচালনার সকল ক্ষেত্রে স্বচ্ছতা, জবাবদিহিতা, সুশাসন ও গণতান্ত্রিক মূল্যবোধের চর্চা আরও সুদৃঢ় করব। বাংলাদেশ আওয়ামী লীগ আইনের শাসন মানবাধিকারের সপক্ষে সবসময় সোচ্চার। সামাজিক বৈষম্য নিরসন করে বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবের কাঙ্ক্ষিত শোষণমুক্ত বাংলাদেশ প্রতিষ্ঠা করাই আমাদের একমাত্র লক্ষ্য। আমরা আওয়ামী লীগ নির্বাচিত হলে আমাদের সরকারের লক্ষ্য পরিকল্পনা বাস্তবায়নের জন্য প্রয়োজনীয় নীতি কৌশল আমরা প্রণয়ন করব এবং বাজার মূল্য আয়ের সঙ্গে সঙ্গতি প্রতিষ্ঠা করা হবে। পুঁজি পাচারকারীদের বিরুদ্ধে কার্যকর ব্যবস্থা গ্রহণ করা হবে। রাষ্ট্র সমাজের সকল স্তরে ঘুষ, দুর্নীতি উচ্ছেদ, অনুপার্জিত আয় রোধ, ঋণ, কর, বিল খেলাপি ও দুর্নীতিবাজদের বিচার ব্যবস্থার মাধ্যমে শাস্তি প্রদান ও তাদের অবৈধ অর্থ সম্পত্তি বাজেয়াপ্ত করা হবে। এই মুহূর্তে বাংলাদেশ একটি ক্রান্তিকালে দাঁড়িয়ে স্বল্পোন্নত দেশের তালিকা থেকে উন্নয়নশীল দেশের কাতারে সামিল হতে যাচ্ছে। এই উত্তরণ যেমন একদিকে সম্মানের, অন্যদিকে বিশাল চ্যালেঞ্জ। 7ই জানুয়ারি নির্বাচনের মাধ্যমে গঠিত সরকারকে এই চ্যালেঞ্জ মোকাবেলা করার সক্ষমতা থাকতে হবে। আর সে সক্ষমতা একমাত্র আওয়ামী লীগেরই আছে, আওয়ামী লীগই পারবে। সরকার পরিচালনার পথ পরিক্রমায় যা কিছু ভুল ত্রুটি যদি হয়ে থাকে তার দায়ভার আমি নিচ্ছি। সাফল্যের কৃতিত্ব এটা আপনাদের, দেশের মানুষের, বাংলাদেশের জনগণের। আমি বাংলাদেশের জনগণকেই সেই কৃতিত্ব দিচ্ছি। আমাদের ভুল ত্রুটিগুলো ক্ষমাসুন্দর দৃষ্টিতে দেখবেন। আমরা কথা দিচ্ছি, অতীতের ভুল ভ্রান্তি থেকে শিক্ষা নিয়ে আমরা দেশবাসী আপনাদের প্রত্যাশা অনুযায়ী ভবিষ্যৎ কর্মকাণ্ড পরিচালনা করব। আমি বাংলাদেশের জনগণের সেবক হিসেবে আমি কাজ করব, আর এর মাধ্যমেই আমার বাবার স্বপ্ন পূরণ করব।
Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir also spoke at the function. Convener of the Election Manifesto Subcommittee, Dr. Mohammad Abdul Razak, gave the address of welcome. Candidates of the 12th parliamentary election are campaigning door-to-door of the voters with promises. BTV's correspondence reports that the election campaign gains momentum in Gopalganj. Candidates are campaigning in the district maintaining the electoral code of conduct. Party-nominated and independent candidates are campaigning in Pirojpur through the street rallies promising development. Electioneering is also going on in the 5 constituencies of Jamalpur. A total of 7 candidates are contesting in the Jamalpur 5 seat. Awami League, Jatiyo Party, Jashod, Bikolpodhara and independent candidates are conducting the massive campaign in the 5 constituencies of Gaibandha. A total of 11 candidates are vying in the Gaibandha 3 constituency. Candidates in Chandpur are campaigning through holding meetings and rallies. Voters are showing their interest in these rallies by ensuring their participation. Electioneering gains momentum in Munshiganj. A total of 28 candidates are fighting in the 3 constituencies in the district. Candidates of the upcoming national polls are conducting massive campaigns in all 6 seats of the northern district of Dinajpur. 10 candidates from 2 constituencies in Panchgor are campaigning by going to voters. Electioneering also gets momentum in the Dhaka 19 constituency. Candidates were seen as very busy with the election campaign. Awami League, Jatiyo Party and independent candidates are campaigning day and night in the 2 seats of Meherpur. Candidates are also conducting massive electoral campaign in the Pabna 1 constituency. Information and Broadcasting Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood said foreign observers are arriving as the upcoming election has created eagerness at home and abroad. He said this in response to queries from journalists while briefing them on the contemporary issues at the Secretariat today.
বিশ্ববাসী সবাই এখন অবজারভার পাঠাচ্ছে। ভোট যদি প্রত্যাখ্যান করত, ইউরোপিয়ান ইউনিয়ন অবজারভার পাঠাতো না, আমেরিকা অবজারভার পাঠাতো না, তারপর ওআইসি সার্কভুক্ত দেশগুলো সহ বিভিন্ন দেশ অবজারভার পাঠাতো না। তারা ভোটে আগ্রহ আছে বিদায়, এই ভোটকে গ্রহণ করেছে বিদায় তারা অবজারভার পাঠাচ্ছে। যে রুহুল কবির রিজভী সহ তারা গুটি কয়েক নেতা প্রত্যাখ্যান করেছে, তাদের কর্মী সমর্থকরাও সবাই প্রত্যাখ্যান করেনি, তাদের সমর্থকরা ভোট দিতে যাবে।
The Information and Broadcasting Minister also responded to queries on the TIB's report.
দেশে 1 কাঠা জমির দাম গ্রামও 20 লাখ টাকা, 5 কাঠা জমির দাম 1 কোটি টাকা, আর ঢাকা শহরে 1 কোটি টাকার নিচে কোথাও জমি নাই, চট্টগ্রাম শহরেও নাই। তো কারো 3 কাঠা জমি থাকলে তো সে কোটিপতি, এখন সবাই কোটিপতি। সুতরাং এই হিসাব দিয়ে জনগণকে বিভ্রান্ত করার কোনো সুযোগ নাই। কারো যদি 10 কাঠা জমি থাকে সে তো কোটিপতি, সেই হিসাব ধরে যদি কোটিপতি হিসাব করা হয় তাহলে সেই হিসাবে তো গরমিল আছে এবং সেই হিসাবটা উদ্দেশ্য প্রণোদিত।
In addition, Dr. Hassan Mahmood talked about CPD's hide-and-seek stances.
ক্লাসিফাইড লোনের হার ছিল 8-9 সালে 10.5%, এখন ক্লাসিফাইড লোনের পার্সেন্টেজ হচ্ছে 9.93%। সেটা কেন লুকালো এবং সেটি লুকিয়ে বলা হয়েছে আগে ছিল হচ্ছে $80 বিলিয়ন, এখন $500 ট্রিলিয়ন, অর্থাৎ $500 বিলিয়ন সমপরিমাণ, 6 গুণ বৃদ্ধি পেয়েছে। 6 গুণ বৃদ্ধি পেলে মানুষ ব্যাংক থেকে লোন নিবে বেশি, লোনের আকার বাড়বে, একই সাথে ক্লাসিফাইড লোনের আকারও বাড়বে। তো ইম্পর্টেন্ট ইস্যু হচ্ছে হোয়াট ইজ দ্য পার্সেন্টেজ। আগে ছিল 2008-9 সালে 10.5%, এখন হচ্ছে 9.93%। তারা কেন এটাকে হাইড করলো? তারা বলল যে বেসিক ব্যাংক থেকে 4000 কোটি টাকার ব্যাড লোন দেওয়া হয়েছে, সেখান থেকে 2000 কোটি টাকা যে উদ্ধার হয়েছে সেটি কেন গোপন করলো? রাজশাহী ভিত্তিক একটি গ্রুপকে লোন দেওয়া হয়েছে 2700 কোটি টাকা, কিন্তু সেটা যে উদ্ধার হয়েছে সেটা কেন বলল না? আবার চট্টগ্রাম ভিত্তিক একটা গ্রুপ 30,000 কোটি টাকা লোন নিয়েছে তারা বলেছে, কিন্তু সেই গ্রুপের কোনো লোনই তো ক্লাসিফাইড না। আমি বাংলাদেশ ব্যাংকের সাথে চেক করেছি, এই কথাগুলো কেন বলল না? এই কথাগুলো না বলায় বলে দিচ্ছে তাদের এই রিপোর্ট উদ্দেশ্য প্রণোদিত।
The Information and Broadcasting Minister also replied to questions from journalists on efforts to control the prices of goods.
করার ঘোষণা দেওয়ার সাথে সাথে আবার সেটি কমে গেছে এবং আমদানি হয়ে আসার পর আরো কমে গেছে। একইভাবে পেঁয়াজের ক্ষেত্রেও সেম। আমাদের দুটি চেষ্টা, একটি হচ্ছে এই ভোগ্য পণ্যগুলোর উৎপাদন বাড়ানো এবং একই সাথে এই ভোগ্য পণ্যগুলোর সংরক্ষণ ব্যবস্থাকে আরো উন্নত করা, একই সাথে মধ্যস্বত্বভোগী যাদের কারণে পণ্যের মূল্যটা বাড়ে সেটা ভেঙে দেওয়া।
Meanwhile, Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood joined a meeting participated by the cinema hall owners and the entrepreneurs at the conference room of the Ministry of the Secretariat this afternoon. Senior Secretary of the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, Mohammad Humayun Kabir Khandokar, conducted the meetings. The meeting discussed the utilization of Bangladesh Bank's 1,000 crore taka fund to construct new cinema halls and renovation of old halls to revamp the cine industry in the country. Urging the cinema hall owners to avail the low-interest credit facility, the minister said the concerned authority fixed 5% interest rate for constructing cinema halls in metropolitan areas, while 4% interest rate for construction halls outside the metropolitan areas. There is no other commercial loan in the country with such a low interest rate, he added. Addressing the meeting, Senior Secretary Mohammad Humayun Kabir Khandokar said about 50 hall owners have so far applied for the loan. Addressing the meeting, Cholocitro Poridarshok Shomiti advisor Sudipto Kumar Das said although the scheduled banks expressed their anxieties over repayment of loans through cinema halls, 248 loans have so far been accepted from the tenure of Bangabandhu to construct cinema halls, and all the loans except one were repaid. Besides, the government has so far received a revenue of 891 crore taka from the cinema halls. Joint Secretary Films of the Ministry, Kausar Ahmed, cinema hall entrepreneur, actress Anjana Cholochitro Poridarshok Shomiti leaders Amir Hamza, S.M. Masood Parvez, Shamsul Arifin, Taposh Dash Gupta, Raihan Pramanik and Mohammad Bilal also participated, among others, at the meeting. The construction of the permanent campus of Prime Asia University has begun at Purbachal in the capital today. The President's spouse and also Chief Advisor of Prime Asia University, Dr. Rebecca Sultana, inaugurated the construction work of the permanent campus of the university this morning. The President's spouse, Dr. Rebecca Sultana, addressed the inaugural function as chief guest. She said that the government is working relentlessly to build smart and a happy, prosperous Bangladesh, dreamt by the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Highlighting the development and progress of the country, Dr. Rebecca Sultana urged the students to come forward in accelerating the development trend.
এই দেশের রূপকার আমাদের জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান। তিনি স্বপ্ন দেখেছিলেন একটি মহান জাতি গড়ে তুলবেন। জাতির পিতার সুযোগ্য কন্যা আমাদের প্রধানমন্ত্রী শেখ হাসিনা, তিনি পিতার সেই স্বপ্ন সফলতার সাথে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাচ্ছেন, দেশকে উন্নয়নের ধারায় নিয়ে চলেছেন। সামনে শুভ দিন, বাংলাদেশ হবে স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ। আমি জানি আপনারা উন্নয়নের সেই স্রোতধারায় সম্পৃক্ত হয়ে দেশকে গড়ে তুলতে এগিয়ে নেবেন।
Chairman of Prime Asia University Trustee Board, Mohammad Nazrul Islam, the President's son, Mohammad Arshad Adnan, Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Dr. Iffat Jahan, and other officials spoke at the function. Later, a colourful cultural program was organised on the occasion. The poverty rate decreased in the country by 5.6% in the past 6 years, according to a survey of Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics, BBS. This was revealed today at the final report of the BBS titled Household Income and Expenditure Survey 2022. The function was organised at the BBS office at Agargaon in the capital today. Planning Minister M.A. Mannan was present as chief guest. BBS Director General Mohammad Mizanur Rahman presided over the function. Among others, Secretary of Statistics and Informatics Division, Dr. Shahinaz Arifin, and member of General Economic Division, Dr. Muhammad Kausar Ahmed, were present. Project Director Mohiuddin Ahmed presented the report. The report says that in 2016, the poverty rate of the country was 24.3%. It became down to its 18.7% in 2022. So the overall poverty reduced by 5.6% in 6 years. The extreme poverty rate came down to 5.6% in 2022, which was 12.9% in 2016. Data from the survey has revealed that the household's average monthly income has increased to 32,422 taka in 2022 from its 15,988 taka in 2016. Monthly total expenditure among the households are also increased during the 6 years period. The survey found that household level access to electricity increased to 99.3% in 2022 from 75.9% in 2016. Increased number of Social Security Program SSP are elderly allowances, widow allowances and Ashrayan projects initiated by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and rise of SSP beneficiaries have played a vital role in the decline of poverty rate. 37.6% households and 50% SSP beneficiaries are recorded in 2022, whereas 27.8% households and 28.7% SSP beneficiaries were recorded in 2016. And now on to international news. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry has said at least 241 people were killed in the past 24 hours as Israel's military operation continues in the territory. Gaza's health ministry said 382 people had also been injured over the same 24 hours. An Israeli airstrike on a South Lebanon border town killed Hezbollah fighter. the group said Wednesday, with state media reporting 2 of his relatives were also killed. Reports say Israel returned the bodies of 80 Palestinians killed in Gaza after taking them from morgues and graves to check there were no hostages among them. Meanwhile, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has called the war a grave crime against his people. However, Israel's army chief, Herzi Halevi, said the conflict with Hamas would continue for many more months. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan met with Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs Ron Dermer to discuss shifting to a different phase of the Israeli-Hamas war, a White House official said. The discussion comes amid grave concerns expressed by the United Nations over Israel's continued strike on Gaza and international calls for a halt to the Israel-Hamas war. Escalating attacks on the U.S. troops and commercial shipping and incidents often involving Iran and its proxies are causing new concerns that Israel's war in Gaza could widen into a regional conflagration with grave political and economic consequences. With American service personnel increasingly in a dangerous firing line and with U.S. and allied naval assets on the high alert after multiple drone attacks, the deteriorating situation is leading to a tense holiday period for the White House. The rising possibility of U.S. combat deaths and the worsening security situation from the Indian Ocean to the Red Sea and the stretching through Iraq, Syria, Lebanon and Israel represents an unwelcome new foreign crisis as President Joe Biden's reflection year dawns. Warnings by Israel that its war against Hamas in Gaza will last for months despite U.S. pressure for a ratcheting down of the intensity of the conflict threaten to heighten the chances war could spin out of control and drag U.S. further in. A key committee in the Turkish parliament approved Sweden's bid to join NATO after months of delays, clearing another hurdle in the Nordic country's accession process in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine last year. Sweden's NATO bid had been stalled amid opposition from Turkey and Hungary, and recently it was further complicated after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan linked it to Ankara's request for F-16 fighter jets from its ally, the United States. Sweden and Finland dropped decades of military non-alignment and sought to join the US-led defense organization after Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. The move paves the way to a vote by the full parliament where Erdogan's ruling alliance holds the majority of seats. It was not immediately clear when the full parliament would hold its vote. The United States has expressed a deep concern over reports that Iran has accelerated its production of weapons-grade uranium. The comments from a White House National Security Council spokesperson came in response to a report issued by the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, that warned that Tehran has accelerated production of the high-grade material. The U.S. spokesperson said, Iran's nuclear escalation is all the more concerning at a time when Iran-backed proxies continue their dangerous and destabilizing activities in the region, including the recent deadly drone attack and other attempted attacks in Iran and in Iraq and Syria, and the Houthi attacks against commercial shipping vessels in the Red Sea. The United Nations Atomic Watchdog's report to member states said that Iran has increased the rate at which it is producing near weapons-grade uranium in recent weeks, reversing a previous slowdown that started in mid-2023. The reunification of Taiwan with China is inevitable, Chinese leader Xi Jinping claimed in a speech Tuesday, reiterating Beijing's long-held stance on the self-ruled island democracy ahead of a crucial election there next month. In an address marking the 130th anniversary of the People's Republic of China founder Mao Tse-ting's birth anniversary, She said the realization of the complete reunification of the motherland is an inevitable course of development, is righteous, and what people want, the motherland must and will be reunited. The comments echo those previously made by Xi, one of China's most powerful leaders since Mao, who has made taking control of Taiwan a cornerstone of his broader goal to rejuvenate China to a place of power and stature globally. And now some other international news in brief. Ukraine's commander-in-chief said his forces had pulled back to the outskirts of the town of Mariinika a day after Moscow claimed full control of the key town. Mariinika is close to the key Russian-held city of Donetsk in East Ukraine. North Korea has opened a year-end ruling party meeting attended by leader Kim Jong-un. State media said Wednesday that key policy decisions for 2024 expected to be unveiled. The oil-rich river state, Nigeria's oil capital, became the latest hub of political drama in the country following the state parliament's attempted impeachment of Siminalayi Fubara, who has been governor for only 5 months. Extreme cold and dense fog have caused travel chaos in India's capital Delhi and other parts of northern India. The city witnessed one of the foggiest days of the season so far, with visibility dropping as below as 50 meters on Wednesday. The Hubble Space Telescope captured a newly revealed image of the mysterious ghostly shadows on Saturn's rings, the latest sighting of the so-called spokes that continue to baffle scientists. Bangladesh will get duty-free market access in exporting products to Japan till 2026 as the least developed country. Senior Commerce Secretary Tapun Kanti Ghosh said this today at a press conference after revealing a joint study group report on Economic Partnership Agreement (EPA) between Bangladesh and Japan at the Bangladesh Secretariat. Japanese Ambassador to Bangladesh Aiwa Makiminori and high officials of the Commerce Ministry were present at the function. Referring to the Bangladesh's graduation from a developing country from the least developed one, he said Bangladesh will lose the duty-free market access facility in developed and developing countries after 2026. However, Bangladesh will get this facility in Japan. Tapun Kanti Ghosh also said commerce, investment and economic cooperation between Bangladesh and Japan will be increased by the signing of the Economic Partnership Agreement between the two countries to expand bilateral trade. Now news on weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. Tomorrow said weather may remain dry with temporary partly cloudy sky over the country. Moderate to dense fog may occur at places over the river basins of the country during the late night to morning. Night and day temperatures may remain nearly unchanged over the country, said Met Office. And now news on sports. Beat New Zealand by 5 wickets in the first T20 of the 3-match series in Napier today. It is the first victory of Bangladesh against the Kiwis in T20 on New Zealand's soil, 4 days after claiming a maiden ODI win over the Black Caps. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina congratulated the Bangladesh team for their victory. Asked to bat first by Bangladesh captain Najmul Hussain Shanto, New Zealand scored 134 for 9 in their 20 overs. James Neesham scored 48 runs for New Zealand. Shariful Islam bagged 3 wickets, while Mahdi Hassan and Mustafizur Rahman picked up 2 wickets each for Bangladesh. In reply, chasing a victory target of 135 runs, Bangladesh cruised to the victory with 8 balls to spare for 5 wickets. Opener Liton Das was instrumental in the chase with an unbeaten 42 runs from 36 balls, and Mahdi Hassan was unbeaten on 19 runs. Shomo Sarkar scored 22 runs for the Tigers. Mahdi Hassan was adjudged man of the match for his all-round performance. The Victory Day of Squash Tournament 2023, organized by the Bangladesh Squash Rackets Federation, started today. Bangladesh Olympic Association BOA Vice President and President of Bangladesh Archery Federation, Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Mainul Hussain, inaugurated the competition at the Army Squash Complex in Dhaka Cantonment. General Secretary of Bangladesh Squash Rackets Federation, Brigadier General retired G.M. Kamrul Islam, and official of the sponsoring organization, Shayan Shiraj, were present on the occasion, among others. A total of 60 male and 40 female players from 20 teams are taking part in the 4-day competition. And to end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Awami League President Sheikh Hasina announces her party's election manifesto for the 12th national election, prioritizing the strategy of transforming digital Bangladesh to smart Bangladesh. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina vows to build a developed, prosperous and smart Bangladesh by 2041 if elected. Election campaigning gets momentum across the country, with candidates conducting door-to-door publicity. Foreign observers arriving in the country as upcoming elections created eagerness at home and abroad, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Poverty rate decreasing in the country by 5.6% in the past 6 years, says a survey of Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics. Another 241 Palestinians killed in Israeli attacks in the past 24 hours, as Israel expanding its ground offensive in central Gaza. And Bangladesh beat New Zealand by 5 wickets in the first match of the 3-match T20 International Series in Napier. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina congratulates the Tigers for their first T20 match win over New Zealand. That's all from the newsroom for now. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our 11:30 news in Bangla. Keep your homesteads neat and clean and stay safe from dengue. Khuda Hafiz.